when you hit go live on Stream.
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Good morning.
I'm trying to find you on the. Oh, there you are. Okay, I lost the window.
Did you figure out the key?
I did, just in the nick of time, baby. We're live.
Awesome, David. Thanks for coming on, man. Glad to have you here.
My pleasure.
It seems like
my pleasure. I wish I'd
not too far from Reed.
Yeah, I would say I should have gone to find Reed and sat over there. I was afraid to be too loud, so you're getting the background of my beautiful hotel room here in downtown Louisville.
Very cool. How is it so far? It's been going for what, like 3 days now?
No, just a day. Just yesterday was it was really cool. The people watching is awesome. I saw a basset hound and a custom wagon with his name airbrushed on the side. You get pulled around by a trucker. That was super cool. And I mean, truck drivers they have the best stories. The best stories people tell me at the booth. I love it.
That's an understatement, I think.
Reed, what's the best story you've heard so far?
Dude, I don't even know, honestly. It's I
went 2 years ago, I think.
That's where we met for the first time in person, dude.
The first time, yeah. You had the first version of the Please Advise prototype hat too, which was you got to bring that back.
Where does one get one of those, Reed?
Good question. They're in short supply these days. I haven't made any new ones in a long time, but I'm a big scarcity guy, so we're going low supply, high demand is kind of my thing, I guess. And so maybe I'll make some more here soon.
I love those.
But yeah, I mean, Matt's is like honestly probably my favorite show, to be honest.
That was Matt's is most memorable to me because Paul, I, and Derek were driving back from Kentucky.
Oh, that's where you almost got like stuck in a tornado, right?
Yeah, we straight up almost died. So that was pretty fun. I will never forget that Matt's experience.
Dude, the best thing about Matt's is that it's not like a normal conference at all, because it's free. It's free, or I can't remember if it's free or just like really, really cheap. So you get like all walks of life coming through here. And you've got all the big, OEMs. You got all the big, like the booths. There's so many trucks. I mean, you go to these like broker shows or these tech bro shows, and it's just like, whatever, man. Like, whatever about all that. Like, there's a serious iron here, and the iron's the coolest part of the industry. We're all just playing in the tech sphere, man.
They got some pretty awesome equipment there for sure.
Yeah.
Those like double sleeper cab trucks that got an apartment on the back. Like,
dude.
Hey, do they have the truck with the hot tub in there again?
If they do, I haven't seen it.
I missed that one. I really walk around some more.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh, it was the Buffalo Bills truck. Remember?
Yes, I do remember that.
It was pretty cool.
I don't know if they're here or not.
It was decked out. So.
Dude, let's get into it. Let's talk about Dave. What do you guys got going on?
Yeah, Dave, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, just an introduction first here.
Absolutely. So I'm a guy. I've done 20 plus years now in brokerage. I worked for a couple of big brokers. I worked for Shipper for about 5 years as director of logistics. So I've been kind of all over the industry. Ran brokerage offices. And then more recently landed in this job at Olimp Warehousing, where I'm vice president of sales and business development. Relatively new company, 6 years old, doing really, really cool things in the on-demand warehousing space. Really appreciate the chance to come on and talk about it, though. Obviously, what people really want to know is more about me, I'm sure. So ask all your questions you want.
All right, so are you guys like kind of a on-demand warehousing marketplace kind of thing? Like you connect people who need warehousing with warehouses, like whenever they need it, essentially?
Absolutely. So we're a brokered warehouse space. No pretense here, right? I don't own any buildings. But what we do is two big areas, right? The first one, the one that most freight brokers know us for, is distressed freight. You show up at Costco, you got 3 pallets tipped over. They're not going to take it today. You don't know where to go with it. You can come to our website, you put in an RFQ. It takes literally 30 seconds. You tell me how many pallets you need, what work you need done. You click a button, we go find one of our warehouse partners. We've got over 5,000 warehouses that we work with in the U.S. It's actually pushing 6,000 now in our network. On the back end, on the tech side, there's some cool stuff where warehouses are able to look at a job board, bid on jobs as they come through proactively. But, I give you a price. I pay the warehouse, just straight brokerage. You don't have to pay a membership to be part of our network. We don't charge the warehouses a fee to do the work. We just take a small margin. If we're being honest, it's usually that I get a little better deal on the warehousing than you would if you're just,
Yeah, and you're saving the time, dude. I mean, I when I was a rep at Echo, I can't tell you how many times I had, a rejection, or we missed a delivery and the appointment was like 10 weeks in the future. And it was a total pain to go and try to find warehouse. And you ended up usually getting your eyeballs ripped out if you found somebody, and they were like, yeah, I got the space, and you're like, how much? They're like, they just make up a price. They roll their face on the keyboard and
because they don't know who you are. They don't know if they don't even know if you're going to pay. So this saves a lot of that trouble. Plus, some of the big warehouses, you got to have an account. Like you can't just show up at a lot of cold storages. But we have those relationships already. We can make that kind of stuff happen. So we do a ton of that. The distressed freight piece, we love that those kind of orders keep us going. We also do a lot of projects. So we, with our broker customers, I have no interest in being a freight broker. I'm not chasing your shippers. I don't do freight, right? We just do the warehousing piece. But if, you get these opportunities where customers show up and says, hey, I need, I got 50 loads you can have for next month, but I need to store them for 3 weeks, because I'm rolling out a new facility and I just need short-term warehousing. You can bring that to us instead of having, a warehouse guy on staff. For those rare opportunities, you bring them to us, and same kind of thing. We'll go find the right partner. We've done everything from, multi-year projects over, thousands and thousands of pallets to, I got a new customer we signed up just this week. They're just a small shipper. They've got 12 pallets they need to keep in storage, but on a rotating long-term basis. Like, yeah, we can help with that. And that would be hard for them to go find a warehouse who's going to even, take a call on 12 pallets, but I can give it to somebody who does work for me every week. So it's a really cool concept. Our CEO came out of trucking. He had a small warehouse and a trucking company, and he saw this problem. He's like, there's nowhere for me to go. And I got guys standing around holding up brooms in my warehouse, not doing work. That doesn't make me money. And I got trucks sitting waiting for some broker to tell me where to go because I got 3 rejected pallets at Walgreens.
Yeah,
that doesn't make me money either. So now we make money on trying to help people out of those situations.
So Dave, if I understand this correctly, anybody that owns the assets, they can come to Olimp and they can register their accounts, and then basically you help get them visibility effectively.
Absolutely, we help get them business. We are constantly trying to grow our warehouse network. We our goal is to almost double our revenue this year. We're seeing that uptick in orders. We need more warehouse partners to get that done. I think we treat our warehouses really well. We understand, kind of like, every freight broker out there understands the carrier is the business, right? You got to have those relationships. You got to treat those people right. That's how we approach the warehousing side of it. So yeah, anybody out there who's, sitting on a warehouse or 10 warehouses or even just a couple of dock doors in a little bit of space where you could restack a pallet, come get us. The biggest thing I need right now is mobile cargo recovery, right? Truck's down like bad, axle broke, something on the trailer, and they need the cargo off of the truck. I'm looking for people who can go out with a forklift and a couple of dudes and, cross dock that stuff to a different trailer right there in a wrecker yard.
We got a friend in the business. Chief Commercial Officer, former Chief Commercial Officer.
Nice.
Dude, it's interesting because, how many warehouses did you say you were in your network? 5,000?
Over 5,000, pushing 6,000 now.
Nice.
Yeah, we at Truck Parking Club, we have a lot of warehousing locations that list parking, that have extra space for parking. Presumably, some of them have extra space for warehousing, and I imagine some of your 5,000 people have extra space for parking as well. So maybe we should talk after this. Come by the booth, man. Seriously, we should probably have a conversation. This sounds pretty interesting.
I was thinking that because we have trailer parking on our on our marketing materials, but we don't want to do what you're doing. It's like, I've got a high value load. I need a gated yard somewhere. I got to park overnight. We'll help with that kind of thing, but I'm not doing truck parking. And people ask us all the time. Yeah. So I will definitely come by later.
Cool.
We'll figure something out.
That's
you give me one of those hats, we can probably figure something out.
Oh man, we got all the swag here.
Bartering, nice. I love it. Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So what what's the name of the game for you guys? Just getting more warehouses, or telling more people about, like, what's more important? Is it like the supply or the demand?
It's both right now. We're pretty strong on the supply side. I'm trying to build like my job is to build the demand side, right? So the biggest thing for me is being front of mind. We've got contacts with a lot of the big brokers, the names people know. Like we're doing business with those guys, but how do I get your rep on the desk, that broker? You know, like you said, when you're a rep at Echo, when I was a rep at CH, right? Where I've got a rejection and I go, oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna go Olimp warehousing. That's my place to go to get this off my truck and not have to mess with it all day. That front of mind awareness is what I'm trying to build. But then also there's 1,000 freight brokers out there that are more than $10 million. We definitely haven't talked to all of them. So my sales team and I are trying to get in front of people. And it's the easiest sales job I've ever had, man. I'm not twisting anybody's arm, trying to convince them to do something crazy. It's like, let me save you a little bit of time in your day. Everybody who's ever brokered a load has been stuck sitting on 3 pallets in the middle of Toma, Wisconsin, and no idea where to go. Like, we can solve those problems and save everybody time. It's a good, honest way to make a living, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's good. So do you guys it's all done via the website? Obviously, you don't really need a mobile app, I assume. Yeah.
We're working on a mobile app. The development guys are going to come slap me, but we're working on a mobile app for the warehouse side. Yeah. We know that warehouse manager isn't always sitting at his computer, right? You're not always watching for business to come across. So if we had a mobile app for the guys on the supply side, we feel like that'd be really strong. So that's coming soon. But yeah, our customers, the freight brokers, the dispatchers, they're usually at a desk. So doing it on the website seems to be the right fit. The RFQ is super simple to use, takes really no time, and yeah, I'm just trying to get the name out there for more people. And we also, like, we have certifications. We have warehouses that do food grade. We got warehouses that do hazmat. We've got guys who do crane unloads and can do open deck stuff and cold storages, like, you name it. And disposal. We had a truck. We worked a truck for somebody where a gaylord of honey busted at the bottom, and they had like 2 inches of honey in the entire trailer. So we got guys out there with a power washer trying to get.
Were they able to salvage any of the honey?
No, it was well. I don't think so. It was.
Nobody was
awesome.
Licking the floors.
No, that truck's going to have a parade of bears behind it everywhere it goes.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. I mean, it's definitely a serious pain point. I feel like there's, like, any broker probably has experienced a need for something like that. I mean, I know I have a number of times. And so do people pay? Obviously, you handle all the payments as well?
Yeah, so you pay me, I pay the warehouse, just like a freight brokerage. I've got, terms set up with my customers, terms set up with my warehouses, depends. Yeah, we take comp checks, we take credit cards, so sometimes stuff is pay to release, right? Like, brand new customer.
Yeah.
Or brand new warehouse, you got to make sure you're taking care of it at the time.
Yeah, that's really cool. Where do you have an office? Are you guys remote or what?
Yeah, no, we're in Buffalo Grove, which is a Chicago suburb.
Oh, nice.
Works out great for me. I've been going downtown for the last 6 years, and now I just drive 20 minutes from my house, which feels like a win.
That's cool. Yeah, no traffic out to Buffalo Grove for sure.
No, it's pretty cool. When I live way out. If you know Chicago, I live in Fox River Grove, which is a town of like 4,000 people in between 2 slightly larger suburbs.
Yeah, it's a little bit out there. I'm in the city, so I do have to deal with the traffic, especially right now. They decided to close down main highway here in Chicago, I-90, down to 2 lanes. So it's super enjoyable to move around right now. But
yeah, I went to a concert on Monday, and we decided to take the train in and Uber because it wasn't worth trying to get on 90 to get down to Salt Shed.
Good idea. Yeah, that's smart. How long has Olimp been around for?
6 years.
Oh, so wow. Okay, you guys have grown to 5,000 warehouses in 6 years, that's pretty cool. What's on the horizon for you guys so far?
What's that? I'm sorry.
What's on the horizon, kind of going forward? Over the next months and.
Yeah, continue to expand. I've got some ideas about how we can maybe get in front of some different industries, some different angles on this, right? Retail, they have a lot of rejections and not necessarily the ones handling them, but having that that kind of referral where we say, hey, we're the go-to for this company if you've got a rejection or if you need something reworked. That's on my list of sort of goals for this year. But really, we're trying to grow. We're at a point where the next step for us is scale up. So how do we go from doing 60, 70 orders a day to doing 150, 200?
That's cool, man. I think it's an interesting business. I've only been playing in this kind of marketplace world for a year or so now, and but I mean it's a fascinating kind of business model. Like it's a very, very, and brokers are obviously kind of marketplaces in their own sort of way. Not as tech enabled as like Airbnb or an Uber or like hopefully us. But they don't lead with that though. They like to say they're tech enabled. But they're interesting businesses because especially getting them started, but like scaling them. I mean, it's like there's magic that happens once you've got like kind of a scaled marketplace. You know what I mean? It's like an ecosystem almost.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. I'm not trying to brag, but there's nobody else who's really doing exactly what we do in this space. Like I said, easiest sales job I've ever had. I talked to brokers and they're like, yeah, man, I've never heard anything like this. This is awesome. Yeah. Like, sign me up. So yeah, we feel really, really good about where we're going this next year or so and scaling it up to, do new things, do it better. We got a lot on the horizon on the tech side too, Christian. We're working on, how do we get those quotes in faster? How do we get more of those warehouses where they give us, especially for like cross stocks or reworks, simple things, like give me a set price and let me match you up with a customer as soon as they put the job in, right? Let me take your rate and sell it to my customers as soon as I know.
What if I don't know what rate? What if I don't know what rate to come in with? Like I'm totally new and I'm just looking for some place to store my couple pallets.
Brother, it happens all the time. I've got so on the customer side, we're here to consult and help. On the warehouse side, that happens too. People say, I haven't had public space in a long time. What's the market like? We have a whole warehouse development team. Those folks will talk through, what kind of market rates are for your area, what jobs might be really appealing. They're also constantly on the phone looking for new warehouses, new places, right? You want a warehouse in Chicago, like a rock.
Who sets the pricing?
The warehouse sets their pricing. It's an open market, right?
And how many SKUs or services do you facilitate? Like, because there's obviously, like a cross dock, a storage, and every warehouse in my experience kind of priced differently. Some of them price like every pallet they pull off, every pallet they store. Sometimes they charge you for stacking them. Like there's a lot of kind of variations of that, right?
Totally. And so two things there. One, we try to help our warehouses price things apples to apples so that when we go to price to a customer, we know like, okay, we can compare all these and make them right. So we try to coach them a little bit on like, give me a pallet in and a pallet out and a storage charge, right? But to the other point, like we're able to sort of help them match up that service with what they need. We've done everything from simple pallet in, pallet out, like, it's a wrap pallet, you stick it in a rack, you pull it out and send it on somebody else, to installing fitness equipment in like, across the threshold into gyms. Like we'll find the right partner to do that delivery, whatever it is. I always say I'm cautious about this. We offer redelivery, but because our customers are brokers, like I'm not going to take a load that broker ABC gives me, and then on the other end, it's a broker XYZ, right? That's bad business. That's not what we do. Yeah. But I do have a lot of warehouses that have an MC number and they got a box truck or they got their own truck. And if you need, like, especially you're talking about, hey, it turns out my appointment, this shipper or this receiver says my appointment's not for 2 weeks. Put in a warehouse that can deliver it for you, and they'll just take it back when your appointment time is set, and you don't have to worry about it. You have their driver sitting around or send somebody back. Like, we'll help you solve those problems from both the customer and the warehouse side. That's what we're here for, and that's what makes our business go. It's the tech piece of it is really cool, but the thing that I think makes us kind of special is that the folks who sit in the office and can talk through with a customer or with a warehouse and they're brokers. I think I'm at home in this job because they're brokers. It's just not freight we're doing in the same exact way.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, do you find that, and can your warehouses see what everyone else in their area is pricing for their services at?
We haven't put that up yet. Just we're not sure what that dynamic would feel like.
I'm just curious.
people.
Like, obviously the rates are set by the market, and how transparent the market might affect how with what frequency people adjust their rates, right?
Yeah, the thing with transparency, and I've worked in brokerages that do this on the digital side, is like sometimes it brings rates down. Sometimes it hammers rates down in a way that's not necessarily great for the warehouse, and we don't want to create that like what carriers are doing.
They love it. They love it when nobody knows the rates and they call them and they can charge whatever the heck they want.
Well, and that's the flip side of that is when you make it public, like we've all seen it right on a load board. Like you post a Chicago to Dallas, you're thinking you're going to pay $1,600. Somebody comes in at $3,500, and then the next guy to come in sees that and goes, "Oh, I'll do it for $34."
Yeah.
Like, this is going to take me 3 days to get this load covered because it's not happening.
Yeah.
So we don't want to create that kind of dynamic in the warehouse space, but it's something we've talked about a little bit. We may come back to it, and a little bit of transparency can be good for everybody. And then you kind of see to see what the market is.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see what would happen if the pricing started to become transparent, and when people start to react to it. Will that drive prices down? Will that drive prices up? And what your customers will say. I'm sure your customers probably won't be as happy like initially right away, but I feel like that's just like a chasm that just needs to get really crossed. And once it's there, then it just becomes a competitive marketplace. Like who can offer the best space, best services, like for the best price, Yeah.
Well, and over time, we want to get there. That the thing about scaling, right, is I want to have so many orders that I can do that, where you're going to have, I need, 5 warehouses in Dallas at the same rate so that I can place all of the freight that I'm getting today. And when we get there, we'll want to look at that because, the competitive dynamics could be really interesting. They could be really good for our customer base. If we're able to say, we know we got you the absolute best price because they're bidding against each other for your work. But at the same time, one of the keys to our business is speed. So, I can have a quote back for most times within a half hour, 45 minutes. And when you've got a driver pissed off sitting there waiting for disposition on, a couple of pallets or a full load or whatever.
Time is important.
Yeah, it's much better to get them moving quickly. The other thing we understand, because we come out of this freight world, is, it doesn't do you a ton of good for me to send you a warehouse 180 miles from where you're in trouble, right? We need to find places that are within an hour drive, make it easy for the driver so you're not just adding BS to their day.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Dave, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the rest of the MATS conference. Sure you'll stop by and Reed will give you a please advise hat. I'm sure of it.
No.
So
don't get your hopes up. I don't have any. We got a bunch of truck parking club swag though, so come by.
I'm all about it. I'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much for having us on. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care, man.
See you, Dave.
Bye.
All right. We have another special guest that's we're going to bring up here in a minute. Steven.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
Founder of Freight Games, which maybe some of you guys have heard about recently. He has had a game that really, I don't know, you're at like a couple hundred people playing this game a day, no?
Yeah, we're probably up to like 450 now. I just checked. We've had 9,600 people play the game.
That's
in the
awesome,
last
dude.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
That's cool.
I see we have Paul join us as well from the Philippines. Hello,
Not
Paul.
the Philippines.
Don't mess that up, Christian.
Wow.
Palau, sorry. For whatever reason, I thought you said the Philippines.
It's east of the Philippines. It's
Okay.
like 500 miles east of the Philippines.
Can
Okay.
you still get lumpia there?
What's up?
Can you still get lumpia there? Because that's the best.
Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
that
guess
is.
not. I guess not. No, does not seem like that. All right. Well, Steven, tell us. Okay. Well, I don't know because we were supposed to have Paul a little bit earlier. coming on, so this might get a little bit out of order here. So we'll try to mix up both freight games and the Palau
Let's
trip.
do freight games first, and then we can talk about Paul's thing after.
Cool, let's do it.
So, Steven, so when did you're a vibe coder. You vibe coded this, right?
Yeah, it's like 95% vibe code.
Did you make it with
5% Garrett.
Did you make it with Replit or what?
No, I made it with Grok 3 and Cursor.
Okay, so just tell everyone what it is.
So basically, it's just Cursor's an IDE that you can write the code with, and they have.
No, I mean, tell people what the game is.
Oh, the game. Okay, yeah.
I'm going to share the screen so we'll play the game.
It's essentially just a knockoff Subway Surfer with trucks and lot lizards and DOT officers. It's an endless runner style game.
So we can pick a game, pick a truck here. Flip flop special, old timer, strong solo Sergey. So we'll do strong solo Sergey. Dry van, flatbed, easy, medium, hard. We'll do hard. 2 times the power ups. There's a bunch of boosts, power ups, obstacles. So we got a double broker, steals $200 of your money. We got a lot lizard, steals $100 minus 20 health. Low bridge, and then we got a DOT.
Just a heads up, the low bridge is wrong because it'll just end your game.
Okay, all right. So then let's get this going. So we got.
Wow! Look at your first ad right there.
We got a super CRM billboard in there, obviously, and so that was. I think we were like, I don't know, 3rd or 4th company that started sponsoring you. But now, how many sponsors are you up to?
We're up to I think 5, 6 now, and then there's a couple more in talks.
What do we got to do to get some truck parking club locations here that you can park in? What do I got to do?
We got to talk to Garrett because there are parking spots at the truck stop when you get there.
Well, we don't want to take the truck stop ones. We want to take
So the truck stop, Steven. I don't know if it's still the same, but the truck stop has this like really grandiose kind of like animation and like introduction. Every time you hit the truck stop, it's like this majestic kind of experience.
I love how there's like corpses on the side of the road here.
So Steven, what's making me go a little bit slower right now? Because I feel like something slowed me down. I don't know, and I couldn't tell what it was.
So the tall black cans are energy drinks.
Okay.
So it speeds you up.
Okay.
And then the white cans, which
Lip pillows.
Yeah. If you actually zoom in on them, it says wintergreen Zaps 6 milligram on the top.
All right. Okay. So, just for everybody listening, for context, right? You had no coding experience, period, 0 whatsoever. Like you didn't even know how to push code, like out into make it a website, right?
No, I can print "Hello World." That's it.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so walk us through what. Oh, here's a grandiose truck stop animation. So we're pulling over.
You're just going straight across all the lanes right now.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is obviously as realistic as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
The biggest bummer right now, I can't figure out how to fix it. When the UI pops up, in 30 seconds, a lot lizard comes out of the truck stop, and if you wait longer than 30 seconds, it steals your stuff. So like if you get a power up, it'll steal it. But it's actually animated, so if you'll see it a little bit behind the UI, but it blocks most of it, and on mobile you can't see it at all.
Oh, interesting.
But
okay, so here's another thing that I wanted to kind of bring up, which is that this game, Steven put the source code for this game online, and so like if you actually wanted
dinner. Welcome, Sam. What's that?
If you wanted to make any contributions like to this game, make any changes to it, you can actually go to this website. It's called GitHub.com.
Playing Freight Frenzy.
I think if you do, let's see here, Freight Frenzy.
Well, good morning.
Hey, what's up, dinner?
Is that Steven Ruhe?
He's charging his Tesla right now, baby.
Oh, well, hey, I like the safety. I'm glad you pulled over, Steven. Sometimes guests will call in and they'll be driving. And I'll be like, what the fuck, man? Pull over.
Right.
What was it?
Actually,
it's
I'll
called
see
Freight
you guys
Games?
after. Yeah, Freight Games.
Are you coming to Matt's?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, we had a little a pivot this morning.
I'll pivot. Would you run out of juice or what?
No, we weren't going to come at all. My wife's like, well, the kids will like to see it, so we're bringing the whole family.
Oh, wow. You're bringing the squadron.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, like a family trip.
Let's go. Good.
Okay, so here, if you go to this website called GitHub, the entire source code for this game is basically in this one giant file. And Steven, walk us through like what it takes to like actually make changes to this in terms of like what do you do when you make changes? Like how are you writing? Are you writing code? Are you?
Chris, we're getting technical here, bro. Jeez.
That's what I told Steven. I mean, the whole order in which the show ended up happening was out of order, but we're gonna leave this for last, so most people probably won't want to listen. But
so for the most part, I'll highlight sections and I'll ask the AI, hey, explain this. What is this doing? And then ask for fixes. But if you go to, there's a branch in there. I actually had the AI reorganize the whole game, so now it's
complete restructure.
Yeah. So that if you look at that branch, it actually reorganized the whole game.
Is this open source right here? Can people fork this or what?
People can fork this.
All right, let's go.
People can make pull requests. I was gonna try to see if we can make a pull request here and maybe I don't know fix the lot lizard issue, but maybe in the meantime while I set some stuff up here, Paul can give us a little bit of a lowdown.
Paul, tell everyone what you've been up to the last couple of days.
Dude, so this week threw me off a little bit. It was funny because like on Monday night in Poland, I was watching the new episode of White Lotus. I've been watching it basically every Monday with my fiance, and I'm like, damn, like it'd be pretty sweet to go to some kind of resort that like looks like that. Sometimes when we're both like kind of talking about it, and so we go to bed, and like at like 6 a.m. in the morning, I got woken up by a phone call, and like it was like I woke up to use the restroom. It's only reason why I saw it ringing because I had it on silent, and I saw it was Jonathan Kolb calling, who Dooner just interviewed on What the Truck.
Yeah, he was just on my show.
On Monday, so on Monday, Jonathan was on What the Truck with Dooner, and I was watching it on Monday, and then afterwards I watched the White Lotus episode, and then at 6 a.m, I have, the call from him, and he was like, Paul, like we have this shipment that needs to get to Palau ASAP, and it's literally like he's done hundreds of these like shipments, like thousands of them. And he's like, I've never seen anything go into Palau. Like this is like an unbelievable opportunity.
Christian, pull up a map and show where Palau is.
All right.
I could
keep going, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, if you want to do
that.
that.
Nothing on March in Kentucky.
So that was 6 a.m. on Tuesday, so 3 days ago. And he was like, Paul, if you want to take it, you got to fly to Frankfurt. There's a driver picking up the parcel in Paris, like today, like right now. He's picking it up at Paris, and he's driving it to Frankfurt, and he's gonna drop it off to you. But you got to get you got to get a ticket to Frankfurt ASAP. So I booked a ticket to Frankfurt like right away. That was 6 a.m. when he called me. I had a ticket booked for 2:30 p.m. So I still had some time. I got ready. I had some meetings. Got ready. Packed everything up, landed in Frankfurt around 5 p.m. And this driver, who's a Romanian like box truck driver, brought it. It was like it seemed like him and his wife were living out of the truck, and he just like dropped off like this package to me, and I had to sign the bill of lading, and he gave it to me. And originally, like Jonathan and the team thought like the boxes would be like small enough to fit in a duffel bag. So they're like, Paul, bring a duffel bag just in case, because you're probably gonna have to like put the boxes in there. And the boxes were a lot bigger than they could not fit in my duffel bag. And so Jonathan's like, all right, Paul, you got to go to the airport, back to the airport, because this was at the hotel where the driver dropped it off to me. You got to get it wrapped, and you got to put an air tag in there because it's like the two boxes were worth $4,000 of aviation components. And so I got it wrapped up with the air tag in there. And then I had Tuesday night in Frankfurt at the hotel. I woke up like early Wednesday morning, and then I flew from Frankfurt to Taipei to Palau, while like I had to like do all these tracking updates every like couple of hours. Or
race, baby.
Dude, this is like how every Locked Up Abroad episode starts, though. You know that, right, Paul?
Yeah,
Which episode, Gunnar?
Locked Up Abroad.
Oh.
Like, carry this baggage to this foreign country.
It's funny because everyone I've like texted from like my like close family and friends, like they all think I'm transporting drugs. Literally,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, like, are you sure?" Like my older sister is like, "Paul, like I'm pretty sure like this like you're transporting like drugs or something." I'm like,
I was half expecting you to dial in from the Palau prison.
One phone call.
I've been hanging out. Okay, so funny you say that. I've been hanging out. Like, the taxi driver that drove me to the hotel yesterday, like first of all, the service here, like getting like internet service or call service is really bad. Like the infrastructure is like really bad. So like I only have Wi-Fi at my hotel. And so the driver gave me his number and he's like, just call me if you want me to drive you around tomorrow. And so like we spent the whole day today. I called them up in the morning. It was like old school. I had to go to the reception. I'm like, I had to use their phone. I called him up. He came here and he was a cop for 32 years.
In Palau?
And in Palau. He just retired and now like he's a driver, taxi driver. And so he said, I was asking him how many prisoners they have. He said there's between 70 and 80 prisoners in Palau. Because the population is 17,000 people, and everyone knows each other. So it's like, and he was saying that the Chinese have been bringing a lot of meth to Palau, and they just arrested a few months ago a bunch, like from Hong Kong. There was a flight, and they arrested a bunch of people that were trying to like smuggle in meth into Palau.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. It was a wild.
So what did you do with him yesterday?
It was today. So he picked me up. He picked me up in the morning. We drove. So we drove to this waterfall. Yeah. We drove to this waterfall, and in like next to the waterfall, like there was like a sign. You could either go right to the waterfall or left to the locomotive. That's like this. I don't know if you read on Twitter. I posted like a locomotive. I know Dooner saw it. Of just like it's like a Japanese locomotive that just stuck from like World War II. And then we went to like the northern part of the island. And like the crazy thing about Palau is like that it's like unbelievably beautiful, but there's like so few people here. There's like literally like no one here. Like you're walking, you're driving, there's like no cars almost on the road unless like you're like in the capital, but the capital is super small. Like it's unbelievable. Like I've never seen anything like it. Like usually you go to these places, there's so many tourists everywhere. Here there's like just I don't know, there's like no one around. Like you see a few people every so often.
I mean, it looks pretty dope.
Nice.
I mean, it's super tropical. Like you're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and I went to the port today. They wouldn't let me in. I went to the port.
You didn't bring your TWIC card?
I was filming. I was like filming some truck. Like a truck was leaving with the container, and there's a security guy. He's like, "Yo, don't film." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." Like,
Don't film.
You're gonna be number 82.
I got a photo next to the sign, and yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, this OBC like kind of lifestyle is kind of wild. There was another person on a plane that was hired from another company, and she was hauling Embraer, like the airline, not the airline,
Embraer.
Embraer, the airplane maker, parts from Paris, and she was on the same flight as me. And it was crazy because she was telling me today, because we also hung out today, that she like this week she flew from Paris to Dallas to Paris, and then Paris to Palau as an OBC.
That's a pretty wild life, man.
Yeah, she was asleep the whole time in the car. Like we picked her up and she just passed out because like she like was just so like her body was unable to like adjust to
Human shipping containers.
Human shipping containers.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this back up. So there's a couple skips. I'm gonna spend the rest of this episode going through how like wild it is to make these changes, and like that you don't need to have any coding experience whatsoever. So, Steven, you'll kind of guide us through like what you did, how you made this. But there's a couple of things you'll basically need to. One thing you'll need to install in particular.
Class is in session. Okay. So I don't know. There were seemingly a bunch of people that were actually interested in like how do you. Wait, is this game just one HTML file?
It's literally one HTML file.
Yeah,
And
right
so
now, currently.
if you download this app called Cursor, install it, and then you can go and download the source code. You add it and you open it up. You right click on the file and you say open with live server, and you can literally play the game here.
Paul's
right?
like, I'm out of here.
It's like I'm in
He's coming in and out. So, but you can play it here, right? So that's all you're gonna need to do. Now, if you, let's say, like we want to ask, like, what did the creator make in this project, right? It's gonna basically literally tell me everything about the project. I don't know what I'm actually curious, like what it's gonna say here. Steven, do you know any details that you can share us and like kind of see?
So one of the things that I figured out to make this a lot easier is I'll go to Grok 3 and I'll flush out the idea, get all like the specifics and like which languages to use. So Canon.js, 3JS, ammo if you're doing something a little like trucks and hinge constraints need to use ammo.js because it's a little more advanced than Canon.
I don't even know what this stuff is.
And then and so it'll break down all the stuff that you need, and then you tell Grok, hey, I'm putting this into Cursor with Claude. I need you to break this down into small chunks of prompts, and then it'll usually give me like 15 or 20, and I'll just copy and paste them one at a time. Okay. And then it'll just start building the whole thing.
Reed, what can we add here to this game real quick? Like, what can we tell it to add?
Add a truck parking club location.
Okay, what can we...
Steven, let's cut a deal at Matt's today. You got to come by the booth and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, I'll be there. I think we're leaving at like noon today.
As soon as you're juiced up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As long as I don't get in here.
Oh, is he sitting around charging?
Yeah, you can see the Tesla logo.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Okay, let's see what it does. So I just asked, let's add a billboard that says Truck Parking Club on it. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to just open up the file, and it will start to find which lines of code basically need to get modified. I'm actually very curious what it's going to do here. Oh, it's just going to say
real.
And that's it. And then
there's the what the truck one right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you got the what the truck logo right here. So I think it should be done. Yeah, there we go. So it was just like a one-line thing. Now let's see. I wonder where this is going to be. Sergey. Say.
Is it going to be the last one?
Hopefully not.
Man, that guy didn't make it very far. Holy cow.
No, not at all.
Okay.
What else can we do?
How do you even die that quick?
What's up?
He's playing on hard mode.
I played on hard. It's kind of hard to crash.
Jeez, you already got inspected.
I'm trying to. I don't know. Totally not focused on this game right now. But let's see. Is this Truck Parking Club?
Nah, it's too long.
What else could we add to the game? I don't know. Dooner, when you're playing this, your kids play this a lot. What did they say? What's up?
Make it night.
Oh, night mode. There we go. Okay.
My kids have the same feedback I did, that the end game, once you get past like 20,000 kilometers, starts getting kind of boring because it's the same thing. So it's like a battle of endurance to set that top score.
I don't know who did 120,000 miles.
They must have botted that, man. That would be like 2 hours to do that.
Yeah. There's like
potential involved. It's going to pull this off. Let's see. Search code base for background color, fog scene. Search code base for code that renders or updates the scene and animation loop. All right, let's see what it does here.
Yeah, the biggest problem I've ran into with the...
Oh, you guys could do a roll call, like Spy Hunter. Remember to do the smoke screen?
We could probably ask it that, to be honest. Okay.
But yeah, the biggest issue with Claude, especially the thinking version, is it'll just start updating random lines, and it'll just nuke the whole thing, especially because the whole game is just in one main JS file. It's not broken up. It just starts grabbing random things.
So it is, by the way, it is creating headlights for the truck right now, because obviously when you're driving at night,
I mean, you're not going to drive without lights, are you?
You're not going to drive without lights. It's figured that out by itself, which is pretty cool. Okay, now let's modify start unless game runner. It's doing a bunch of stuff here, I guess, while it's doing. But anyway, sorry, Steven, you were saying?
Yeah, so that's why I asked it to break up all the files in that other branch. Is because when it's all in one file, it'll just grab anything and everything. And the further you get into just changing little things, like it'll just break the whole game. And especially if you're someone like me who stares at this like it's Mandarin, it's pretty much start over.
I can
That's-
tell. I can tell. It's
But
taking a long time.
one file is, I feel like that's vibe coding 101. Just one file,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if Christian showed it or not, but the reorganization that it did it in one try. There was no issues with it. I was shocked, but it changed everything. I think it added 2 folders and 14 or 15 files. Everything was all broken up, nice and easy to read.
Steven, how long until you can keep upscaling drafts? Like you could take this sort of draft that's sort of very 8-bit looking and be like, make this look more like a 3D Unreal 5 game. You know, like how far off are we from that?
Good.
I think we're probably within a year, honestly.
Yeah.
Some people have
Really?
started making wrappers for Godot and Unreal Engine, so you can start coding inside of those like game development spaces, which is really cool. But like I don't know if it's up or not, but the that Red Sea defense game that I was working on and tossed to the side for now, like the water that this 3.7 made. Christian saw it. I posted on X. Like there's like reflections and everything. It was awesome. I was impressed.
Yeah, I think it will get to the point. Like I don't know, like Steven said, like within a year, that we'll just be able to say, like apply whatever style, like realism or Ghibli is a really popular filter recently. So maybe you can play the entire game in Ghibli mode, which would be pretty kind of.
Wait, did you say there's a Houthi strike game coming?
You
You have a Houthi strike game coming?
navigate the Red Sea or what?
Yeah, it's just
That'd be kinda cool,
Yeah, actually, it would.
So I've got a prototype. It's a cargo ship that just runs in a straight line along the Red Sea, and there's drones and little boats that come out towards it, and then you can call on the Navy, a destroyer and a jet.
Wait, is this game playable?
Oh, okay. You can. I think I pushed it live. It'll run, but everything looks.
It'll run.
The only thing that looks good is the water. That's it. The water is fantastic. I think it's in my repos. I don't know if I.
Give us night mode.
There we go. I don't see any day.
Oh, does it automatically change it or what?
I don't know.
Wow, you've already lost.
I've added timers to control day, 3 minutes. Okay, hold on. So let's start off the game.
We've got 2 minutes, Christian.
We're going. We got to see the night mode before we get off here. Start off the game in night mode, but
I saw your son made it pretty far, huh?
He did, yeah. They were intent on beating my score.
Did they?
Yeah.
what was
That's
their
the
high
problem
score?
with, like setting the bar, you know. There's always people coming to climb over it.
Steven, how is the score based here? Is it like total time?
So there's a broken leaderboard which is rate per mile.
Hell yeah.
But then there's
literally
distance.
deleted all this code.
Yeah, it just goes haywire.
Sick. Sorry, you were saying?
But yeah, and then the leaderboard that I tell everyone to use is the distance. And then that's that's the little bit of coding that I knew how to do. I set up Firebase and got the leaderboard HTML set up. So it'll pull like users' distances as they run and put it into the database and kick it back over to the leaderboard.
Cool. All right. Well, this is taking much longer than I honestly expected. Usually these changes are way faster, but I think given that this file is just absolutely gigantic, like what is this?
Yeah.
How many lines?
I think it was up to 5,000, 5 or 6.
Yeah, this is a gigantic file.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool, man. You got to keep it up. Come by the booth and we'll figure something out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be by. I'll make sure I can show you guys the Red Sea game.
All right, dope.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. All right.
Sweet.
This is gonna
All right,
probably
boys.
keep loading for a couple minutes here. So, but anyway, Steven, this was a great that you came on. Also, nice job, like just building something that a bunch of people are like playing and using and finding fun. Like I have people not in freight telling me like, oh, this game is actually pretty cool. So
Yeah.
hopefully
One of my
there's more
cousins.
more titles.
One of my cousins, a freshman in college, and it's like running rampant through his
There you go, baby.
campus.
Wait,
right now.
Viral. All right.
I think hold on. I got night mode.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
headlights, dude.
nice.
This is
Look
pretty
at that.
cool. Look at that.
actually
Look at
looks-
the shadows, like with the lights. That's pretty good.
Man, you got ray tracing on this now too?
Yeah, I guess so.
Diffusive lighting?
Yeah,
PSSR?
That's pretty dialed in.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Awesome. All right, well, it worked. So I guess experiment.
That's a good note to end on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That
So-
worked, but what did it break?
Yeah, true. Good question.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
Steven, thanks so much, man.
Please.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll
Yeah.
see you guys at Matt's here in a couple hours.
Sounds good.
Cool.
See you, dude.
See you,
Later.
man.